What the hell is going on, man? SetMyRadio.com. We live on the air right now. It's your boy Mark D. Got B Scarb in the building, my dog JP1 and the youngin' Veezu. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I get that. Let me get everybody's mics on right quick. Y'all know we just jumped on the air real quick. What's going on with y'all fellas, man?
What up, though?
What up? Checking in, Setting My Radio, Veezu Loki. We here. What's up?
Everything smooth, man.
That's what it is. JP1 in the building, Scarb, Veezu. Yeah. So we here. We got the youngin' here, Veezu. I've been seeing this guy on the scene for a couple of years now. I can vouch for that. And I've heard a lot of his music coming up in that time that I first seen him and met him. And now we got some heavyweights in the Detroit hip-hop scene here that got his back, you know what I mean? So we're here talking to all of those guys about what this guy is up to and what he got coming up in his future endeavors and all of that type of stuff. So what's going on, Veezu?
Man, trying to make great music. Keep making great music. That's pretty much it.
I can dig it. So how long actually have you been doing the damn thing out here on the scene, man?
I would say I got 5 consecutive years in, but on the music scene. Our personal relationship it goes longer than that, but I would say about 5 consecutive years.
Okay, I can dig it. So what was your inspiration, man? What was your reason for picking up the microphone and wanting to do the damn thing and rocking the mic, man?
Just being expressive, man. Expressing myself and trying to do it differently, like not wanting to really do it the way that I see everybody else doing it. I don't want to be I don't want to be programmed. I rather, I don't want to be a player in the league. I rather own the league. If I'm gonna express myself, I want to be able to choose how. And with words, I always had a knack to do it that way. So it was just, I figured I could be heard like that through the microphone.
So you said 5 years in on the scene?
Yeah.
Okay. So like with so many new artists popping out on the scene out here in the city right now, what set Veezu aside? What's different about you that we won't see in a lot of other artists that you would say?
Pure emotion, raw emotion. And I think that's one of the things that make my performances, live or lit, as we would say these days. Just that pure emotion, man. I channel what I feel through the music, and if I'm performing, that's a live, intimate opportunity to connect with the people who they're checking for me. So, just that emotion, man, I bring, and then the versatility too. Different records, like you get an ape shit record, and then you get feelings. Those are totally 2 different playing fields, but I feel like just the pure passion and creativity and wanting to be an artist, I was able to push myself to create and dominate on both sides of the playing field.
I can dig that. Now, being so young in the game, man, if you would say there was any inspirations in the industry right now, not that you would per se pattern yourself after, but just artists that you look up to in the game. You know what I mean? Who would those be?
J. Cole for sure. Cole, what he's doing with hip hop and just his brand and revolutionizing everything is just wild. Guys like Big Sean, Drake's, the Kendricks, all those guys, man. I can name a few more, but just those guys right now, those are the ones who's like, man, I can't wait to see more come out, come from behind their platforms, see what they putting out here. Those are the guys I look at and I can see that they really do it for real. He's serious. Right. Kanye is serious.
Right.
Drake is serious. Jay-Z is serious. Those guys are for real. Like it's not. I'm not in competition with the guy next to me. I'm already where I'm going. I'm just trying to be greater at that.
Now, it's funny, hearing you say what you're saying, how you're saying it, being a young dude in the game. So when you say these guys are serious, serious as opposed to what?
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Like, do you see guys out here that you feel aren't serious?
I would never knock another artist, especially an artist, because I can understand what that grind is like. Just trying to be heard, trying to be, the best you, so people can take to you. But at the same time, I would say that a lot of people doing it just to do it, because I can do it and because I can pop, or because it is the hot thing now, it's a trend, and all I gotta do is get a beat from this person, and all I gotta do is go to this person's studio, and because this is my big homie, I'm good.
Right.
I feel like that type of artistry, that type of process is bad for the market. It saturates the market. Now everybody can do it, and I'm not hating on nobody winning at doing it.
Yeah.
Because as long as you consistent and you found a way to do that, and that's what you're doing to win, I'ma salute that. But it's a problem when you got guys who are just doing it to be doing it. There's no passion behind it. Like Kanye from his coming into the game to where he is now, you see the passion in his art. Right. Drake 2009, Drake was like he had to give you an explosive performance. Now Drake can stand on stage and he don't have to say a word to any of his music. People gonna do that for him.
Right.
He's just lit. He just, you know what I'm saying, like Statue of Liberty with the mic. And I think, you know, in our market, it's a lot of, you know, play. It's a lot of play. Or it's a lot of because I can win, I'm going to win like that instead of, you know, putting effort into it. It's effortless.
People have put quantity above quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Sure.
just feel like that just putting out a mass amount of music, I have a better chance of getting on from just inklings of people connecting to the small bits of, you know, the mass amount of music that I get out, as opposed to putting out something that's quality, you know, just off the rip and building off that. So, you know, I salute you, man. You seem to have a very well-rounded and thorough mentality about yourself.
Thank you.
Getting into this game, man. And you know, it's a lot of newer music out here that I was just saying, like, true hip hop heads don't really connect with. You know what I mean? You seem to be one of those more so along the lines of the true hip hop fans, even being in the younger generation, man. So how, with you being in the younger generation, do you feel about a lot of this music that a lot of the OGs feel misrepresent hip hop?
I feel like it's a time thing, because I feel like even though, you know, at one point in the era, or in like, okay, 80s, 90s era, music was way different.
Right.
It was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And what y'all was banging to and what was flying high school and what was fly was you was wearing on the streets, that's totally different than what it is now.
Right.
Like now, I think it's an evolution thing, but I think it's also the impact, if it's gonna have a positive or a negative impact. And we just how sound, just like production really plays a huge, I mean, it's always played a huge piece, but nowadays, like, you can listen to cats like, and I love Lil Uzi because I be so lit listening to Uzi.
Right.
But you can listen to Uzi, you can listen to Future, and you can listen to, like, and a lot of people might be mad if I say this, but you can listen to like Young Thug, and that production alone carries the song.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people, I'm not really in tune with what that person's saying, but I'm familiar with his voice, and I'm familiar with that melody. It's kind of sweet, and that beat, like, it's lit. I can play it in the club, and everybody gonna go crazy because it's how it makes you feel.
Right.
And I think with the OGs, kind of, I ain't gonna say fail to realize, but the newer generation really didn't get anything from the older generation as far as, you know, how to do it. We was all trying, y'all were figuring it out, or at least from my perspective. From my perspective, it was being figured out, and there's blueprints like that of JP1 and Gov and people who put a blueprint together and worked it and put it on a platform like Facebook or Instagram for us to see it.
Right.
I can see how you moving. Oh, I see how you put the project together. Oh, I see how you shot the video and how you did all that. Okay, so I can utilize that. But a lot of people, you know, from the older generation, looking at the new music as you know, blase, and that's because it is. But it's working for those people. That's what it
Right.
is. What
Like,
you do it for?
At the end of the day, it's working for them. So
What you do it
can't
for?
be mad. That kind of put me in the mind frame of when I asked Too Short what he felt about the newer age hip hop, and you know, I can't knock nobody that's hustling and getting money. You know what I mean? When he said it, like, when I was coming up, hip hop was about having fun and getting money. So, you know, you can't knock nobody for, you know, having fun and getting money. You know, it was people that hated on what they did back in the old school days, just like we may not take to everything that's going on now.
And it's always gonna be haters. It's always gonna be somebody's not gonna like what you're doing just because you're doing it, and somebody's gonna, on the other side, flip side, is gonna love what you're doing because you're doing it. There's always people gonna pick and choose, and you gotta let them do it. As long as you're evolving and you're progressing, you cool.
Speaking of doing what you're doing, let's talk about some of your music, man. That's I got several of your tracks lined up here, man. What's I guess one of your favorites, man, that you have on the table right now?
One of my most favorite records right now would have to be Ape Shit, just because I don't feel like I've delivered that type of energy into a record in a long time. You know, it's been more chill, more mellow, like Feelings and Mattress. But right now, Ape Shit is the one that I've been on SoundCloud, just running back to back.
So what is this track about? Ape Shit. I would imagine that this is probably a club banger.
I wouldn't say it's a club banger. I wouldn't say it's that type of record.
You wouldn't say it's a club banger.
I wouldn't say that. This is. It actually is. It's catered to those OGs that you were talking about.
Okay,
it's
well,
catered to bars and just raw, aggressive hip hop. Like, what you talking about? You rapping, but what you rapping about?
The youngin' already got me. See, I'm putting him in the category. I'm thinking he about to do some young nigga shit.
I mean,
and he about to drop something on me. So we gonna check it out. Let me know. So you say this is something more so, like some of that real hip hop shit. There,
real
right?
bars, real cadence, real delivery, real flow, like real. What you saying? All them punchlines. Oh, you thought you hit me until they actually hit your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay, we're gonna check it out then, man. Hey, shit, this off the new project you putting out right now.
Name Me King. Yes, sir.
And when are we due to expect that one?
I'm just gonna say this month, towards the end of this month, just be ready. Be stay on the lookout, stay alert. I'm not gonna drop the date.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
We're gonna let everybody know where to follow you at on social media a little bit later, so they can
cool.
Get that information. But we're gonna get into this ape shit. Young homie Veezu, man, y'all stay right there. We got the big homie B Scarb, JP1 holding it down in the building with us, man. We'll be right back.
Now tune in to 7 Mile Radio.
We back, man. 7mileradio.com. We live on the air, man. JP1 B Scarb and the young homie Veezu is in the building holding it down, man. We just going over a couple of these tracks from the new project, man. What'd you say the name of the project was?
Name Me King.
Make Me King.
Name Me King.
Name Me King.
King.
That's what it is. That's what it is, man. So, as I said earlier, we got the homies JP1 and B Scarb sitting here with us. And I understand you have a situation with these two brothers. As far as business connects, partnership, what's going on with that?
I mean, I'll let those guys really get more in depth about the partnership and what the situation is. But for me, it's an opportunity for people to come together and really do something good, do something positive with what we have to offer. Actually,
I can dig it. So we'll start with the business head over here. B Scarb in the building. You know what I'm saying? Known from DetroitRap.com amongst other things. How you been, bruh?
I've been good, man. Just out here working, staying afloat, staying busy, staying out the way.
I can dig it. Y'all got the homie Veezu here, man, and you was telling me earlier about how y'all got a lot of workings with him right now. You know what I mean? So let me know a little bit about what that is and what was it about this young cat that made you want to take him under your wing, you know what I mean, and work with him.
Well, I've been working with him for a minute now. I first came in contact with him through a previous situation, Varsity Music Group. That was my first foray into the local music scene. Shout out to my original partners, Ron Dent, SK Bishop, and the whole squad. So that was from like 2011 till about 2014. And through that situation, that's how I met him. So I came into that as a business manager and then wound up picking up other talents, writing treatments for videos, working in the studio with them, A&R and EPing the projects, doing graphics, the whole nine. You know how I go when you're independent, man.
Yeah. Tell me about it, boy.
So during that, we had a stable of artists, but he was the one that had the most success. We dropped Focus 2 years ago on Cinco de Mayo. That was kind of like his coming out party to the city. So that was around the time that we crossed paths with you individually on several occasions with some of the other people. And again, being independent, budget got soft. People left the squad, so we had to kind of regroup and revamp. He also turned 18 within that time frame, graduated from high school, went to college for a little minute, so it was time for him to get his grown man on and experience life. And during that hiatus, that's when I started doing the work that I did with Uncle P, with the DetroitRap.com and the Underground Hip Hop Awards, and getting off into the event planning and journalism and all that stuff. And we reconnected. Personal, we was always there, but we just wasn't doing no carrying music business because I was kind of letting him spread his wings and experience things on his own. You know what I'm saying? And when he hit me after the award show this year, like, yo, I'm ready to lock back in. Let's, make some more art. Let's do some more stuff. I was like, okay, let's see what's up. And one of the records you played, Mattress, he got another record similar that called Feelings. That's kind of the vibe of music he was making. So kind of what we was talking about earlier as far as that new wave music, that Bryson Tiller, Tory Lanez, Future, Young Thug vibe that a lot of these young cats is making. He was making his own version of that.
Right.
And with me, I'm a purist. So it's all about bars, it's all about art, it's all about concept. So I told him when we go back in, I'm gonna need you to get back to the MCing. And that's what we did. And we didn't go in thinking about radio, thinking about catering to Detroit streets. It was just about making art, just making something dope that anybody that's a real hip-hop head can appreciate. So the whole project is really just reintroducing them. So for people that don't remember Focus or don't remember what we did 2 years ago, it's just about reintroducing them to him, to let him know that first he is an MC, He actually does have a talent. He does have a skill. Like, he can do all different types of music. But at his core, he is an MC. You know what I'm saying?
And you can tell that, man, because a lot of times with artists out here nowadays, you know, the product that they put out is almost a result of, you know, what they. I mean, ain't no almost about it. It's a result of what they take in and what they fans of, and they put that out almost as a result of muscle memory, right? Because, you know, you spoke on earlier how people want to be a certain way or come out trying to sound a certain sound, and that's important when you're an artist to not do that and to separate yourself from what's pop out here. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, he'll tell you all the time, man. Like, I constantly be on him about just, you know, trying different things. Don't be afraid to try something different. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid, you know, just to be different. Because from what I've experienced and researching the game, like, everybody that, quote, made a significant impact, at the time they came, they was different.
Yeah.
You know, and it might have took a little second for people to catch on, but in the long term, it paid off. I mean, we could go down the list right now. You know, it'd be naming all names all night, but anybody who made a significant impact, they was different as opposed to what might have been going on at that current time. So I always tell them that, like, you know, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to stand out instead of trying to stand in. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid of that. But to make a long story short, you know, that's me and his history, man. I want to stress the people that with our partnership and collaboration, with me and JP1, we're gifted and talented, and ASIR is marketing and promotions, you know, thing for him to support him in this project with Name the King. But Young Boy is a free agent. You know, I'm not his manager. He is looking in the future for management when it comes time for that. Definitely looking for a home when it comes time for that as far as the label situation. But right now, it's just about perfecting his skills as an MC, you know, helping him learn the business.
Right.
And just pushing him as far as we can go. And as far as the decision on my end to work with JP1, I mean, it ain't no secret, bro. You all know the type of grind JP1 got.
Right.
You know, it's self-explanatory. I mean, what he did last year in 2015 and the amount of music he put out, the
Even
tours,
this year.
right, the tours that he had to support it, you know what I'm saying? These were self-orchestrated, self-financed, self-promoted tours, and I haven't seen that on an independent level as far as, you know, our circles of artists that did that. Most people get booked on somebody else's tour.
Yeah.
And maybe pay for a slide or do whatever, but this brother came along and just revamped the whole game and did it on his own. And then put other artists on.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So
And you kind of skip right into a question that I wanted to ask Jake. Well, both of y'all really, you know, with you being a fan of what we call real hip hop, and you spoke on the fact that, you know, when you met Veezu, he was making more so in the pocket of what Young Thug and Future and a lot of these young
well,
cats
no. He wasn't making that when I first met him.
Well,
I was just saying that's what the vibe he got on after we departed from one another for a little.
Oh, okay, right.
But he always had the pen. He always had that.
Okay, well,
I want to make that clear. Like, he always.
Well, that cancels that, because I wanted to ask, you know, with you being a, you know, OG in the hip hop realm, you know, what would make you take to a you know, what still, you know, what stuck out about Veezu that made you want to work with him in the first place? I mean, I know you speak on the pen, but you know, I imagine to be a little more than that.
I mean, I see a lot of myself in him. You know what I'm saying? Not to get on a personal level, but, you know, how he grew up, certain choices that I know that he's made in his life, things that he's dealing with. You know, I had similar circumstances. And if I didn't have my coaches, pastors, uncles, grandparents, and the list goes on in my village that saved me, you know, ain't no telling where I'd be right now. So just seeing that in him and knowing that I was in a position, no matter which way he wanted to play it, if he wanted to play it 100% on the education route, you know, he could be at Michigan State right now. If he wanted to play it on the music end, we doing what we doing now. So whatever side he wanted to get on, I just wanted to be there to help him. And like I said, as far as you talking about the culture, man, I keep an open mind. Like, I'm definitely, you know, a 90s golden era fan, you know, because that's the era I grew up in. Like, I have my favorites from the 80s, like anybody, because, you know, that's when the ground was being broke. But definitely I'm a 90s, you know, hip-hop head. But when I look at today's music, like he was saying, every generation has its stars. And I tell you all the time, you always had the court jester and the mainstay in hip-hop. You go all the way back to Sugar Hill Gang and Melly Mel. Sugar Hill Gang was rapping about having a good time. Some of them was scatting during the record, hip, and just saying words that ain't even make sense. And then you had Melly Mel talking about broken glass everywhere. So you always had somebody that was talking
variety,
something that was content, but had somebody that was talking to party. In the 90s, we had MC Hammer. But at the same time, we had MC Hammer selling you millions of records. You also had Tribe. You also had Wu-Tang. You also had Mobb Deep. So it's only right now that, you know, we got the Kendricks, we got the Coles, and then you got the Young Thugs and the Bryson Tiller. So, I mean, every generation, you know what I'm saying, you always have both sides.
Most definitely.
I just think right now, like we all talk about in barbershops and all that, it's just an oversaturation. It's just more.
Oh man,
it's more of the other stuff and not as much as the quality stuff. And you kind of got to dig a little bit. And then it's like, you know, the quality stuff complain about. Me and JP1 was interviewing about this earlier. Like they complain about not being heard, but the quality cats don't be having the budgets. They don't be having the team. So it's like you dope. But if you don't have those other parts to help your campaign really grow, the world won't know. You know what I'm saying? Especially. So, I mean, that's just, I don't want to get on my soapbox about that.
No, you got it. No, you good. We good. And, you know, and now over to JP1 from a artist perspective, you know, I asked you pretty much the same thing as far as, you know, what you seen in them that made you want to work with them. Now, I would normally ask an artist, what is it about another artist that you know made you want to? But I mean, JP1, this is somebody that's known for reaching out and networking with other artists. But just, you know, from your own perspective, what is it that you seen in him that made you want to you know, to work with?
It was believable. Like I met him a few years ago when he did the release party. What was that, Bob's Kicks or something?
That was the
classic
single release party for This Is Rap, and we got that record too.
Bob's Classic Kicks.
Okay, that's what it was, Bob's Classic Kicks. But I came down there. I think Ron invited me down there, and I came down there, and I seen him, and it was believable. Like that's big with me. Everything should be believable. I don't like when I'm at a show and a guy talking about how much money he got and he don't look like he can afford anything. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it was believable. Everything he was saying was believable. And not to get too much into his personal business, but like one of the things I remember was he was like something about the white girl, and she was right there. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was right there. He was like, something they said about my white girl or something, and she was right there. I'm like, that's real talk.
Like he talking for
and
real,
she
like
was rapping all the words to the music. Like, hey, don't worry about my white girl. She was right there. And I was like, I'm just keeping it 100. That's real with me. Like, I'm believing that, like, man, speak your truth. We all have our own truths. Right. And I'm big on speaking my truth. And sometimes my truth ain't exactly what everybody want to hear, but that's my truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me how to do and you know, speak my truth. So when I seen that and I heard that and I like what he was doing, man, and I you know, I kept a little eye on him. I heard the feelings and all of that, and I was like, oh man. So when he first asked me, I was like, man, I don't know, man. It ain't really my vein. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing wrong with it because I listen to Young Thug and all that. I'm telling you, I listen to Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan, all that. But it just ain't my lane. I wouldn't know where to go with it. Like, you know, I'm like, man, I don't know. Yeah. But then he played the music for me. I'm like, all right, come on, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get it going. You know? Yeah, he back. He back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the other music though, you know, it's different if I can introduce him with this and then you can grow into him with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just having that, I wouldn't have known because like the performances I'm able to give for him is more like hip hop. You know, I've been leaning more towards that, towards the white crowd. You know what I mean? Who gonna like the, you know, the rapping your ass off music. You know what I mean? And they might not take to, because bro, it's certain songs, like I learned this on the road, it's certain songs I can't take into certain places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
most
like
definitely.
I used to keep 2 sets of performance, you know, sets, because when I go to the, like, oh man, Cincinnati, trapped out. They don't want to hear you rapping about what you want to rap about. They want to hear you say, ooh, the bag in. You know what I mean? So I had to do like living life. I couldn't go in there and do human nature or nothing. They be looking at me like, make me go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
So I had to do living life, or, you know what I'm saying, something that's a little more up tempo they can keep up with. Yeah. Even when we went down south, man, they loved what we was doing down there. But when we was in Mississippi, they was basically asking each other what we was talking about. Like, what them niggas talking about? You know what I'm saying? And it was just weird. So you gotta know, you know what I mean, that music. And it's good that he able to do both. And I'm actually excited for him. So me as an artist, bro, I love the art. So a lot of times where people think I'm acting crazy or I'm being over opinionated. It's because I'm really a fan. I'm passionate about the art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen people try to do what he did with Feelings. You know what I mean? And they just and it wasn't good. So what he was doing was good. It just was like I ain't gonna touch it if I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and that's all it is, man. I told my little homeboy he was doing that type of music, and I told him it's just not polished. You know what I'm saying? I look at him like a little brother. I known him almost 20 years, but it's just not polished. So you know what I mean? But his music good, man. It's polished. I'm excited. It's only been a week. It ain't even been a full week. It ain't even been 7 days since I've been working with him. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited for him, and I just want to see him win, man. I want to see other people win too, but it's different once I put a gifted and talented, standpoint.
Yeah, most definitely. Now I've been hearing a whole lot about this song, Feelings. I've heard you speak on it, heard you speak on it, and it just so happened to be the next song that's queued up right here. So I feel it's only right that we get into it. You know what I'm saying? Air it out. Yeah. So open it up, man. Let us tell us, man, in brief 20 seconds, man, what a little bit about it before we get into it.
Feelings, man, I cooked it up out in Westland with OG. OG straight drop, man. He was cooking up on his beat machine. He whipped the beat up. I caught a vibe and named it Feelings, man. So here's Feelings. Veezu Loki, OG straight drop. Let's go.
Yes, sir. 7 Mile Radio. We'll be right back.
Warning.